Hi, Joseph here. This is a training video I've wanted to do for a long time, and it just essentially shows you how OneNote and OneNote Class Book works. Okay, so first of all, how to get into it, and then I'll show you a little tour of one or two of mine. So if I go into here, that is actually a working one, but you could do this from home on any browser. You go to the main website, sccb.ac.uk, and at the bottom you've got Office 365. When you click Office 365, if you're at home you have to put your e-number in and your password. If not, it automatically opens up your emails. From your emails, you click that box. If this is the first OneNote Class Notebook you're making, you click that there, and then you have to put in details of but there's videos on this. It's very easy to set up a new OneNote Class Notebook. Or if you're returning to one that you already made, you click OneNote. When you do that, you'll get something that looks like this. This is one I made in 2015. Okay. As you can see, I swapped out the first page. So first of all, I've changed the welcome to this. Originally, you'll get a load of help pages. Just want to show you what you get when you set one up. So this is all online, so the tabs are on the left hand side. If you somehow build it and you open it using Windows, because we've got it installed, the tabs will be at the top, across the top. See? So here's one I prepared earlier. You can access the same notebook, OneNote notebook, but you've got the tabs either at the top, like web pages. That's the full version, which will be on the computers at college. You can download that. Or the online version, as you can see, this is called OneNote Online. The tabs are at the side. To be honest, it doesn't matter which one you use. If you want to talk to me about preferences on which one to use, that's a different conversation from today. The great thing is as well with OneNote is that you can also put it on your phone. I'm not going to show you it on my phone today because it would be terrible to try to bring that on. But essentially, you can put it on your phone as well. So, which we'll get into a bit of why that's really good, and the students can as well. So, these are the videos you get when you first download OneNote, well, or even just access it online. When you make your first class notebook, you've got these videos. I'm not going to go through these, but you can self-teach yourself how to set them up using these. So there's even ones for students as well, ones for teachers. Really good, really, really useful. I learnt myself using that. But that's what you get on your front page, so you might want to either delete these off or hide them. So I replaced it with this welcome page, which showed a picture of the classroom in 2015, and it showed what room it was for my entry 3 students. I also made different areas, because you get 3 areas with OneNote. You can put things in here if you wish, which are the same as content library. You get your content library, your collaboration space, and your student space. Now, I'm not showing you all the way down at the student space because I don't really want to accidentally show you any details of my old students, data protection and such things. So I'm not purposely clicking down now. But each student gets their own slot like this. Like I've got week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. You'll have all your students with their own big tab. And when you click on their tab, it opens up whatever you've set up. So they could have quizzes, they could have classwork, homework. You can make as many tabs as you want for them. My advice is to stick with the suggested ones when you're making your OneNote Class Notebook. Maybe alter the names of them, but you don't want too many. 4 or 5 is enough, really. I've never had the students use more than that. So that means that when the students access it, they'll see collaboration space, content library, which you can see I've opened up content library to reveal a lot more, and they'll have their own name. And when they click on their own name, that will open up mini tabs as well. Collaboration space is an area where the students get to collaborate with each other and the teacher. So essentially, think of this, if you watch my Padlet video, think of this as like an online notice board. So we did some things on employability. And hopefully, I haven't looked at this for years, actually. Hopefully this will, yeah, there's conflict. So you can see the students put their own initials in which one they wanted to choose. That's okay, it's just the initials. We also had these on grammar and all sorts, and the students could add to these as well. So I could put different tasks, and then they could write over these and draw over these. So collaboration space is like an online notice board. You can put things on, the students can put things on, they can go into groups and add them to collaboration space, and the whole class can see. My advice is don't put more than about 3 to 4 students in the same mini tab in collaboration space, or else they start to delete what each other are writing. It's a good idea. And it's completely free with this, which means that you may choose it to use it instead of Padlet, or you might even put your Padlet within your collaboration space. Content library is really the meat and potatoes of this. This is where everything comes from. So for me, I've got handouts, and these were all websites that I wanted the students to go to. You can even see I've got first week, second week, for other weeks. There's even a phonemic chart there that they can have a look at. ICT, I did actually put YouTube tutorials in here. It was a while ago, so they didn't show us links. Now when you put YouTube links in, the video actually comes up within OneNote. Homework, I also had homework for the students to look at. So remember, content library is like Moodle. It's read only. Students can look at it, but they can click on things, but they can't change them. So I had lots of different homeworks, as you can see, reading speed right the way through. And I linked some of them to topics, and others we did in certain weeks. My scheme of work, the students can see the scheme of work, the whole scheme of work they could look at. So this is the scheme of work from 2015, remember, but you can see all the weeks there. Okay. All the way through, and then you've got my term 1. So let's just pick, say, week 4. This is a typical week that I did. Again, I put the scheme of work for that week as the first page in my OneNote for my content library. Then the second page would be my lesson plan. So this was my lesson plan for this week. I ended up putting it all onto one plan. It started off as the afternoon plan, but I was able to extend it. As you can see, what I did is I just basically pasted the South and City College lesson plans in and then altered them. These are exactly the same as the lesson plans that you normally see. I've ticked the tick boxes because the students completed them. I did everything we normally do. The only difference when I do lesson plans, I've worked in quality for quite a while, so I like to really highlight the differentiation. I've only used first names here for the students, and you can see that I essentially had the activity we're doing and how it was different for each group. So I had a red group, an amber group, and a green group. And you might say, well, how do you decide who's in whose group? Well, sometimes I can direct learners to go into different groups, which you've got there, as you can see. I've done that, but also it was linked to a Socrative assessment as well, which I linked in the answers. There's this. Now I've actually blotted out the student names here because this is actually their data from 2015. But you can see that I've put at the bottom on this page my diagnostic assessment results for that class. So I've got what their speaking skill is, what their listening skill is, quite strong listeners as you can see, and where the problems are. So the students that scored red were the students that I needed to give more help to, and they'd go there. Students that scored amber would go into that column, and the students that scored green would go there. So green grammar group means the ones that scored green on the gap fill grammar. So there we go. And this is still week 4, so as you can imagine, the diagnostics were about all we had to go on in week 4. The actual session that's mentioned here, all these things like the ING spelling test, I bring this up on the screen, by the way. This becomes my screen as I'm teaching with OneNote. Here we go. This was the pre-teaching that I did before I set the spellings. The spellings I read out, good old-fashioned kind of reading out spelling test. But before then, I did a bit of pre-teaching on that. Work vocabulary was another activity. Again, this would come on the screen. And you might recognise this from a famous textbook we use, which we've got online access to. Just a simple screenshot, pasted it in. I printed some out for the students, and yeah, they did it on paper. But you could do it paperless. You could actually send this as a handout to each of the student pages down there. It's a quick option to do. Let's see if it's on the long one. Yeah. So as you can see, distribute page. If I click that, I can actually distribute the page. It will come up here. I have to sign in. I'm not going to sign in at the moment, but I could even distribute an entire section. And when it says distribute, I can choose which students to distribute to. So remember when I was talking about red, amber and green group, I could actually choose which groups got this page. And I could have alternate pages which are more difficult, or pages that are easier, pages that look at other things. Sound, stress and syllables, something else we went into. Now we were just learning the basics. She sells seashells on the seashore. So we went through how to identify syllable stress and sounds. I had another spelling ing here. I think this was the words I was testing them on. Yep. Obviously, I showed them that after I didn't make that the screen because they could just copy it. And this one. Now, if you use your phone, if you use the app, it's a free app on Google and iTunes, you can speak into it. You can open this on your phone and you can actually click and you can make recordings. So it works like a microphone. You can also take pictures and put them on here as well. So this is an audio recording which I downloaded earlier. So I just click that, open. Should open. Is it going to open? It's just going to take a moment. Okay, so this is just, yeah, here we go.
If two witches were watching two watches, which would watch which watch?
Okay, and then the second one down here is me saying it faster, but you can put your own recordings on. Now think about that. If you've got students with their own marked work, you can just use your phone and you can make a recording to verbally give them feedback on the work that they've done that you've marked. Okay, this is a YouTube link. Now on OneNote, all links.
Two witches were watching two watches.
All links on OneNote now for YouTube appear like they do here. So, as you can see, that's really good. And then this daily lesson that I had here, I did a little bit more. Now again, remember this was an earlier version of OneNote, which means that now the video would actually appear below these links, but I had all these grammar explanations of present continuous. Okay? And again, we did this together in class, and then this is the work that they kind of did on their own. They then would have done some more work for me. I had a handout, which, remember I had a section with the handouts? I mean, now, setting these up, I'd put the handout section weekly rather than actually having it first week, second week, third week, fourth week. I'd actually do it a bit differently, which is what I've done. If we go to this one, will it open? Yeah, it does. Okay, I've got a few more things. So, similar setup that I use. I've got a homework section. I also do merit points, which I'd love to show you, but it's got the students' names on. So I'm trying to keep the students anonymous on this one. But what I've done is I've inputted an Excel sheet, which you can do using insert. And you can insert a form. You can insert an Excel sheet. Microsoft Forms lets you make quizzes where you can click on them and then you can make a page from a pre-made quiz on Microsoft Forms. Students click on it. If they're not already signed in, which they would be if they're on their phone on OneNote or on a computer or on a tablet, they will automatically then have a chance to do the form, and the form is like a virtual worksheet, so it saves paper. If not, when they click on the form, it will ask them to put their S number in, so you will get their results. It will record the results of the student, and that's actually filled in either way. Other things I want to show you. I'm going to show you this on this version. You can go really sophisticated. So this is a 4-week or 6-week scheme of work that I set up for maths. So 5-week scheme of work, and that was it. But as you can see, I've put this into OneNote. We usually make these in Word, and we share them. Well, all of the resources I'm talking about are links. That's a TED-Ed, which is a video with questions. That's a Kahoot quiz. That one's interactive maths learning website. That one's the BBC. This one is another TED-Ed. We got online math learning. We got online math learning again, another TED-Ed, and so forth. So each of the things that I'm talking about in the scheme of work are actually links to where the learners can click on them and learn. So, and I've also still got a separate section on maths pages, useful links, but that way you're making your lesson plan or your scheme of work, however way you want to do it. Essentially, it's an interactive resource that the learners and you can click on, and all your resources are at a click of a mouse, click of a finger, however. So the benefits of doing these things, and this isn't the one I set up, so this one, I've got my term 1 there. You can see on here. Now here, there's a form. It needs resetting because the form's been a while, but this is what I was talking about, Microsoft Forms. The students would click on that page, spelling test. They'd click filling in the form. I don't know if this will work because it's a deactivated test. But, probably should have checked this before I showed it you. But it should automatically know that I'm logged in as myself. Oh, there we go, sign in if it doesn't know who I am. And there we go. So, how do you spell this? How do you spell this? You say I got round it with the spelling test. What I did was I put clear pictures, plane, coach, boat or ferry,